So we're looking at the basic flow chart, for emotioning. So all the way through to completion. So here's the process. This is the machinery that we're talking about. So we have sensing perception. It would like we go out ready to encounter our medium, our living system, encountering the medium in which we have existence. Inside this medium, we have perception and sensation. So wherever you put the human being, it will be perceiving and sensing. And that's the antenna of information seeking. Let's put it that way. I've got to figure my way around. That's the navigational challenge for all mobile living systems. And even the paramecium is mobile if it's moving inside a medium to go from, let's say, a food source toward a food source, away from an energy source, away from something toxic. It's built to identify those things, so it has to perceive and sense in order to be able to identify those things. We're built to identify all sorts of things. When we sense and perceive, we will create meanings, and the meaning creation that we're capable of at any given moment in time depends on the menu that our meaningful context has currently, at its disposal. What is the menu? So for the baby, sensing and perceiving, it's got vision, but it doesn't have it doesn't have much of a catalog. And certainly before language, the catalog is, it's got its own primitive organization, but we'd be hard pressed to say what that is. The baby's getting organized as it bounces around inside its medium over the course of time. Sensing and perceiving leads to meaning creation. Meaning creations are held on to, or potentially can be. I could create the meaning, mommy is good when I'm 2 years old, and it never changes. I could create mommy is good as 2, mommy's horrible at 5, and so what happened to mommy is good? So I have both. It's just that I'm missing the mommy is good meaning experience. Anyway, we create the meaning based on the sensing and perceiving that we're doing, that we're permitted to do. So I can't see things that I don't have a mind to see, and the mind evolves so that what the mind can see evolves. So out of this meaning created, it's all happening sort of instantly. Open my eyes, perception, sensation, and it was already, what kind of day is it? I mean, something is going on meaningfully. As we create these meanings, they trigger programs for action, the atomic emotioning elements. Fear, anger, sadness, disgust, guilt, shame, interest, desire, joy. These are the fundamental programs. I could have 3 fears going at once, though. At one context, one meaningful situation, I'm afraid of 3 people in the room. I have 3 fears going on. I'm afraid of 3 things in relation to one person. I'm fearful of them bullying me, but I'm fearful of shaming myself by running away. So I'm frozen by my own ambivalence. So we'll get to that in a minute. So the program for action is related to a goal or goals. It could be multiple goals. We could break it down into multiple goals. Each goal that we're working on is sort of collectively being wrestled with for ascendancy, for importance, for relevance, for, right now needs my attention. My interest is hijacked by this goal. My disinterest is hijacked by this goal. So I'm busy trying to bury my awareness of one and trying to emphasize my awareness of others. So ambivalence is key, because all this mixture of programs, action commitments, goals, feeling states and thoughts, supporting movement toward the goal, all this is churning in the wellspring of our will, where the ambivalence will be sorted out continuously and moment by moment. In essence, the will has examined all the input, all the processing going on. This is what the will's churning, like we're chewing our meaningful cud all day long. And out of the chew comes a spit. Out of the chew comes a behavior. Out of the chewing on this, something emerges to form the actual intention that will be executed, the intention that produces action. So every other intention might be in the back seat waiting to produce its action. It's kind of like the water droplet. If the rain is very slight, the water droplet will take a while to gather enough bulk and size and drip gravity before it breaks the pane of glass resistance and slides down. And the ambivalence works like that. So imagine we had just three goals and they're all like the water droplet, and whatever's, the input of information, importance, relevance, salience, significance, the size of the commitment, as that is oh yeah, okay, I see that, right. As that is gathering, I'm getting closer to the thing I'm afraid of, and so that water droplet's growing rapidly. The others are being maintained. As one grows, it's going to become the next one that gets executed, kind of thing. And sometimes these executions come out as 6 of one, 4 of the other. So I go on my vacation and I'm trying to relax, and I'm trying to plan my future at the same time. And so I'm in a cafe having an aha moment because my relaxation is being accomplished. And in the meantime, as I'm triggering that, I suddenly get more aware of what it is I want to do, which actually involves having more relaxation professionally, kind of thing. And so that's a fusion. If I hadn't been on a relaxing vacation, I might not have planned that future, that kind of thing. So this is the volitional. So think of intention as volitional behavior that's either in the queue or actually coming out of the queue, like being executed. It's loaded up it's a water droplet. The water droplet's formed. It's gathering momentum. It's not yet executed. As it's executed, there could be, steps that need to be taken, not just one action. And so there is this goal pursuit of if I intend to climb Mount Everest, putting my boots on is part of it, but it's not going to get me up the hill. The hill up the mountain, the completion will occur at the top of the mountain, or I guess actually upon my safe return. We don't think about that. We're going to have some completion at the top, but we'd also then have the kind of post denouement completion at the bottom, emotionally. Like there's no reason to be done with Mount Everest while you're still on it coming down. But you're kind of in the post game show of what the primary goal was about, which was to conquer, which you did, but now you have to come down safely to collect your prize, so to speak, to extend your completion to the point of real termination of the experience. To be dredged up and lived over and over again because it was wonderful, kind of thing. Let's see what happens if we select the resistance here. Yeah, so we can select resistance. So that's cool. So here's the thing about resistance. Anywhere along the line, the ambivalence profile changes so that it begins to involve goals that counter other goals. Move close to keep climbing, get closer to the top. Oh my God, I'm so tired, so scared, so whatever. I just want to go home. And so we have orthogonal ambivalence. It's kind of like 180 degrees opposed, two different goals. Can't be in two places at once. This is what I call gridlocked ambivalence. Resistance can produce gridlocked ambivalence. Completion will wait if there's significant resistance. This goal pursuit will be sideways. It'll push resistance and we won't get completion.
So assuming, therefore, the gridlock doesn't change, this could recycle and become one of those things that's, repetitive, almost in a compulsive sort of way. But if the appropriate action is taken, um, the goal pursuit of getting safe is actually accomplished because safety happens, then completion happens, and the program for action terminates. If the curiosity is satisfied, the interest will end. If you get what you desire, if it's really what you desire, the desiring will end. If you're angry and you have some sort of conflict and you're engaged in a fight about the conflict comes to an end, the anger will end, and so on. Guilt, the repair is made, then the guilt ends. Shame, the identity is established as valid, then shame can end. Sadness, if enough support happens and letting go happens, the sadness is allowed to terminate. It's given, in essence, the program is accomplished. At letting go, where the goal of getting the person back is relinquished, partly because it's impossible to accomplish, but also because then acceptance has happened. And so then the sadness will end, or nearly end. It will transform into something that's no longer a block that's allowed to flow when it comes. Anniversaries, I just cry. I don't have any resistance. I just miss them and feel it. And there's no refusal of the sadness. So the refusal ends the gridlocked ambivalence. And so we have a completion and we have the circuit terminated. And this is really what we're all seeking, and we're all confused about how to get it.